Okay, well, Facebook didn't want to cooperate again, so we are live on YouTube. All right, so I don't know if anybody's going to show up, but let's continue. So we started off on Facebook, and yeah, didn't want to play nice. So here we are on YouTube. So we already started, and we're going to just keep going, guys. We're going to keep going. I'm going to post on my page right quick that we're on YouTube, and we'll see what happens. All right. All right, a couple of y'all made it. Hey, guys. So I just posted it on Facebook that we came over here to YouTube. So I don't know. Me and Facebook just have not been getting along. So we're just going to keep on going with our wreath where we left off. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but it just doesn't want to play. Hey, Kitty. Hey, Arlene. Hey, Monica. I don't know. Facebook has got some serious growing pains right now. But we're going to keep on doing this wreath, guys. Okay? We're going to see what happens. Maybe I should just take a break from Facebook for a while and just start streaming on YouTube only. It seems like every time I go on Facebook, I have some kind of issue lately anyway. And it might not just be me. It might be everybody right now. Who knows? But we're just going to keep on making this wreath. We're going to go ahead and do this thing since I got everything ready. So we can't another. And it might just be that my internet is just crappy today. Who knows? It might not even be a Facebook issue. It just might be my crappy internet issue. So that is just so frustrating. But there's nothing I can do about it. So I just got to do what I can do and worry about the rest later. All right, so we got a couple more poofs up here on the top, and we'll be done with the poof part. And then we'll go in and we're going to add those ruffles. Okay. This is a pretty color. I like this color. It's going to match perfectly with that sign too. Okay, last poof. We're going to tie right into where that zip tie is. Nobody will be the wiser. All right. So let's cut off our little tail and we'll tie this onto the back one more time with one more zip tie. All right. So let's flip this over, bring this tail around to the back, and we'll tie it on. So were y'all able to hear me at the end when I said that I was going to YouTube, or could y'all not hear me at all? I know there's a few people that follow me that they also subscribe to my YouTube channel, but there might not be a whole lot. I'm not sure. All right. All right, so there we go. We got that part done. Ooh, that's pretty. That's a pretty color, guys. I like that color. It looks good. it's a good color. Okay, I'm gonna move this mesh roller out of the way. All right. Okay, so these ruffles, and they're a cream and tan, I guess. They have this in a 21-inch mesh also. Yeah. We're going to use the 10-inch. So we're just going to fold the ends under. I cut these at 20 inches because I wanted a smaller ruffle. I didn't want anything ginormous on here. I just wanted to add just a little bit of color. So you tuck in both ends, make you a little ruffle, stick it down into that tie. Okay, so basically what this ruffle is doing is it's one, adding a little bit of different color to it, and then two, if you have any holes, it's going to start covering up those holes. Okay, so we're just adding just a little pop of color in there, something different, so it's not all monochromatic. Okay, this mesh is it is a little bit on the thin side, but that's okay because this is basically just something to add a little bit of color to. So this is a jute also, but it doesn't seem to be flaking off as bad as some of them do. You know, because some of them, they flake fibers. So if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, you might want to wear a mask when you work with jute and burlap. Okay, so I'm just taking the end and I'm tucking it under because it will start fraying after a while. That way, if it's tucked under, it's not going to be as noticeable. All right. Oh, you heard me the entire time? Yeah. Well, we'll see if anybody shows up. There's a few of y'all on here, but I'm going to make this wreath whether there's one person, there's no person, or there's 50 people. I'm still going to make this wreath. So. But tomorrow we're definitely going to do that lantern swag. Hopefully Facebook will cooperate with me tomorrow. If not, we'll be coming back to YouTube again. So I feel bad for the people who are doing Facebook Lives, and then they have the same issue that I've been having, and they don't have nowhere else to go. You know, they don't have a YouTube channel set up. But there's a lot of people struggling right now with their Facebook. It's just at first it was like, okay, we understand, but now it's just become like a pain in the big booty. In the big booty. All right. So once you get your ruffle in here, guys, just kind of, you know, take it and spread it out a little bit. We don't want to completely cover up that red, but or that maroon or cranberry or burgundy, whatever color, whatever color it is. I don't want to completely cover it. So I'm trying to keep these ruffles a little bit on the smaller side. I don't want them to completely take over that red. I still want to see that, a lot of that red. So I did, I think I said I cut these at 20 inches. Yeah, I think I did. I might have should have maybe even cut them at 15, but they're already cut, so I'm just trying to keep them in a real tight ruffle. That way, when I spread them out, they're not as wide. All right. So we're going to do the top and the bottom with this ruffle. And then we're going to come back and we're going to start adding our ribbon tails. Hey, Roxanne. Yep, you found me. I posted it on my Facebook page, so I don't know how many people are going to follow me over here. But there's a few of y'all. All right, so this is the last one for the bottom. And now we're going to jump up to the top and we're going to do the eight ties on the top. Okay, so when you have a roll of 10-inch mesh, if you cut it at 20 inches, you get exactly 18 cuts. Okay, so if you want to cut a 30-inch ruffle, then you're going to need 2 rolls. So just keep that in mind whenever you're doing your ruffles. If you're trying to just use 1 roll of mesh, make sure that you don't cut it any more than 20 inches. This mesh is starting to fray already. All right. So I was real happy with the wreath that we did the other day. It came out really good with the Jackie weave. I was very pleased with it. So for those of y'all who hopped on after I started a while ago, I don't know if you heard my story about my Roomba eating my picks for the lantern swag. But I was telling my friends about it. One of my friends was telling me that she thinks my Roomba is after me. Because me and that Roomba, we go round and round. It's always trying to come in here into my craft room. I have to like block the door or close it all together because it makes a beeline down the hallway for my craft room. It's gotten in here once already. Well, obviously it got in here twice now, but it got in here once before, and it sucked up my internet cord, took my computer down, took my camera down. Everything was on the floor. I was like, oh my goodness. I love that thing, but I hate it at the same time. So I'm pretty sure what happened was my cat got on the table the other night. She's not allowed on any of the tables in the house, but I'm pretty sure she got up here and knocked everything onto the ground, because there's no other way that stuff could have gotten on the ground without her jumping up here and messing with it. So she got a talking to. And she hangs out in here all the time. She's in here right now. All right, so we got a couple more of these. And then we'll start adding our ribbon tails. So we can still see that burgundy under there. So that's good. I didn't make these too big. And I still want to be able to see that burgundy. Get this spray. All right, last one. Then we can start with our ribbon tails. How's the picture on here, guys? Is it better than it was on Facebook? Or is it still lagging a lot? Where's my tie? There it is. Because I'm just using my my straight internet. I'm not going through OBS right now. I'm just using my straight crappy internet. All right. So there we go. You can still see a lot of that burgundy in there, but you have that splash of color at the same time. Okay. So it's really gonna bring out that burgundy in the sign, on the outside of the sign. Okay. So that's the look that I was going for. All right. So let's go ahead and add our 3 ribbon tails. So for those of y'all who might not have been at the beginning of the Facebook Live, we just have a plain burgundy. We have a cream and tan striped to go with the cream and tan mesh. And then we have a striped burgundy, white and burgundy striped, okay? And so we're going to use all 3 of them in our ribbon tails. And we're going to put the big burgundy on the bottom. Then we're going to put this one in the middle. And then we're going to put this one on top, okay? We're going to go through and we're going to put them all on the bottom first, just like I always do. And we're just going to place it right on top of that ruffle. We're not going to open it. We're not going to do any of that. We're just going to place. And now we have our colors to go with our mesh. We have our ribbon tails to go with our mesh now, okay? So we're just going to go around and we're going to add all of these to the bottom first. Then we're going to put our sign on. We're going to put that one bow that I made already on. Then we're going to make another one. Okay. So if you're looking for something that's quick and easy to do, this is probably one of the easier wreaths to make, because the poof is pretty basic. And if you would rather not even put a ruffle on top, this is a very thick mesh, so you could get away with that. If you just wanted to use the burgundy and that was it, you could definitely do that, because like I said, it's a thicker mesh. It's a jute mesh. So it's not very see-through. So if you just didn't even want to add the ruffles on top, that would be perfectly fine. Then you could just put your ribbon tails in, and that's the majority of your wreath right there. Your ribbon tails and your mesh. And then you can go through and add your sign. And it is a elongated sign. So if you just wanted to make one bow with long tails, that would totally work, because your sign is elongated, so it would go perfectly with that. And I actually thought about doing that, but since I didn't have any little accessories to put on with it, because I had some candy canes, and I have some decorations, but they're bright red, bright green, so it really wouldn't go very well with this color scheme, because this is more of a natural or a darker color scheme. So those ornaments and little things that I had, they really wouldn't go with it. So, but the next time I go into town, I'm going to look around and see if I can find a couple of things to add to it. But we're just going to do this for now. So I was really looking for some candy canes, maybe a little teddy bear ornament or something like that. But I have a huge box of Christmas stuff, but nothing I had would work. So I tore that whole box apart looking for something that would work. Couldn't find nothing. I was a little disappointed in that. That's okay. As long as you get your wreath, you can always go back and add a few things to it after you're done. And I've been doing that a lot lately. After I'm done with my wreath, I'll go back and I'll look through some stuff that I have, and I'll add it to the wreath after it's already, supposedly finished. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you might not think of it at the time that, oh, I can use this for this wreath, but then you come across it a little bit later and you're like, oh, that would go perfect. So just go ahead and take it and add it to it. It's fine. Hey, Connie. Hey, Patricia. I see a few of y'all found me. Oh, thank you. That is so sweet. All right. All right, we got a few more, 3, I think. And then we'll go ahead and start getting the second part done, or the top part. Okay. I know a lot of people that watch YouTube tutorials, they hate it when the person giving the tutorial talks too much. But I'm not really doing well, I am doing a tutorial, but I'm not doing just like a straight tutorial, which I have done a couple and put them on here, recorded them and put them on here. But I think it's a little bit different when you do a live, because I feel like if I'm not talking to you guys, I'm being rude. All right, last one for the bottom. Now we're going to start working on the top. All right. All right, so there we go. That is our ribbon tails. Look at that, guys. Isn't that pretty? That looks good. That looks real good. Okay, so let's add our sign. So like I said, guys, it is a long sign. It's 12 inches long. So of course we're going to put it over here to the side. So it already had holes punched in it. So when I got it, when I ordered it from Pam, she gives you the option if you want to punch the holes or not. So if you don't, you can always go and use cable mounts, or you can punch the holes yourself. Totally up to you. Okay. Yeah, I'm a talker and a worker at the same time. I have to do that at my real job. So I don't have the luxury of stopping what I'm doing just to talk to people. I have to, my job is extremely fast paced. So I don't have the luxury of just stopping and talking to people. I have to work and talk at the same time, or else I will be behind all day long. Okay, so I'm just going to, let me get it up here a little bit higher. I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to push it down through this mesh to the frame. We're going to get it tied on. So if you have to push it through your mesh, don't let that scare you. It'll be okay. Your mesh, as my friend Tequila likes to say, your mesh will forgive you. All right. So let me get this other side. She's at work today, so she can't watch from work. Sometimes she does, but she took vacation last week, so I'm sure she's like swamped trying to get everything caught back up. All right, I'm just pushing it down through this maroon mesh, getting it down to the base and tying it on. So when you have a thin metal sign like this, guys, you don't have to worry about, it sliding down because of the weight. So you don't want to put it so tight on your wreath that it's squashing everything. But you do want to make it sure that you have it secure enough to where it's not going to fall off. Because there was a lady in my, I don't know if it was my business group or if it was my design group that I'm in. She was fairly new to wreath making, and excuse me, and she sold a wreath. She shipped it to her customer, and when her customer got it, took it out of the box, the sign had fallen off during the shipping, and she hot glued it. I don't know how she hot glued it because mesh does not hold glue. It might hold it at the beginning, but it's not going to hold it forever. So I felt so bad for this lady because she basically had to ask her customer to glue it back on. And her customer probably did, and it probably fell off again. So guys, you do not want to hot glue. I mean, there's some things that you absolutely have to hot glue, but a sign is not one of them. All right, so there is our sign. Oh, that is so cute. That's an adorable sign. Okay, so we have this one Lisa bow that I already made. So I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to go ahead and put this one on right now, and then we're going to make another one exactly like it, and we're going to add it right here. Okay, so we're going to have two bows on one side, and then the sign on the other side. Excuse me, guys. And then the sign on the other side. And I have a couple of extra ribbon tails that I cut, and we'll go ahead and add those wherever there's like, a blank spot, because we'll have a few blank spots. So we'll just add some ribbon tails to those blank spots. But the majority of our top is going to be our bow, or two bows, and our sign. All right. So there is bow number one. Okay. So let's push this out of the way. We'll get out my easy bow maker, and we'll make us another one just like that. All right. So most of y'all that watch me on a regular basis, y'all know that I love to use a lot of different kind of ribbon on my bows. I usually use like 8. But I wanted to do this with just a few colors to show you that you can make a beautiful bow with only a couple of different ribbons. Okay, you don't need to have a whole lot of ribbon to make a beautiful bow. If you've got a limited quantity of ribbon, you can just double up those ribbons, which I'm going to do with my 2.5 inch. So most of the time when I make a Lisa bow, I use 4 different 2.5 inch ribbons, right? But today I am going to put this one on the bottom, then I'm going to put the maroon, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put this one, and then I'm going to put another maroon, okay? And then the 2 1.5 inches, we'll top it off with those, okay? So you can still make a beautiful bow with only a couple of ribbons, okay? So do not fret if you do not have, you know, a wall of ribbon, because you don't need a wall of ribbon. As long as you've got a couple of colors that go with what you're going to use, that's all you really need, okay? So we're going to make 7-inch tails. That's what we did on the first one, okay? So we're going to pinch it. We're going to give it that half twist, okay? So for the Lisa bow, we make 3 loops, okay? We make, hold on, guys. There we go. My mouse was acting crazy. Okay, so for the Lisa bow, we make 3 loops. So we're going to have 2 and then 1, and then we'll come back with a maroon and we'll put 2 and then 1, and then we'll do the same thing over. Okay, so we're going to start off with a 6-inch loop. So we're going to give it our pinch. We're going to twist it, place it down in there. Okay, so that's loop number 1. We'll bring this tail down to the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do loop number 2 at 6 inches. So we'll pinch it. We'll give it that half twist. It's loop number 2. Okay. We're going to make one more 6-inch loop. Over here on this side. All right. So this is our last loop. So we do not have to twist it. Just place it straight down in there. All right. So measure out our 7-inch tail. We'll dovetail, and we'll take this one and put it up here at the top. All right, ribbon number 1. Now we're going to come back and we're going to put this burgundy on top. All right, let me dovetail it. I'm really trying hard just to get in the habit of dovetailing as I go. Now it's working so far. All right, so we're going to start on the opposite side, okay, because we're going to end up, because if you notice we have 1, we have 2, but we started on this side. So now we're going to start on this side, and we'll end up with 1 loop on this side and 2 on this side. Okay, so let's measure out our tail, 7 inches. And even though this ribbon is the same on both sides, we still have to twist it, guys. Okay. All right, let's put this tail up top. We're still doing a 6-inch loop because they need to match the length of the loops that are on here. So we'll pinch it, give it that half twist, loop number 1. All right. We're going 6 inches again. We're going to pinch it, give it that half twist, loop number 2. Okay. And then our last loop, loop number 3, all we do is pinch, place it down in there. Okay. So let's measure out our tail, 7 inches, dovetail. All right. Okay. So now we have 3 loops on each side. All right. So let's take the maroon off and bring the striped one back. All right. So now we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to go down a whole inch. Okay. So we started off with a 6-inch loop. Now we're going to make a 5-inch loop. All right. So we're going to pinch it. We measure out our tail at 7 inches. We're going to give it that half twist. Let's bring this tail down, get it out of the way. All right. So now we're going to do a 5-inch loop. So let's move this so we can see where 5 inches is. All right, measure out 5 inches. We'll pinch it, loop number 1, so we have to twist. All right. Do 5 inches on the other side. Pinch it. Loop number 2. Still have to twist. All right. And then we got one more. So we'll measure out 5 inches again. We'll pinch it. Last loop, so no twisting. All right. We'll measure out our tail. Dovetail it. Okay, so that's it for this ribbon. We're not going to use it anymore. We're going to bring back that burgundy. We're going to add another, excuse me, another set on the burgundy. All right, so we're going to start back on this side. So we'll measure out our tail. We're going to pinch it. We're going to give it that half twist. Right? You can just use the loop that's on here. That's 5 inches because we're going to do 5 inches again because these loops have to match in length. All right, so we'll pinch it. First loop, so we have to twist. Okay. 5 inches. Second loop, have to twist. All right. Last loop. Pinch it. Place it straight down in there. All right. So let's measure out our tail. Dovetail it. Bring this one down. All right. So that is it for our 2.5 inch. So there's nothing wrong with using the same ribbons twice. Okay, so this makes a really good base, and it matches everything in our wreath perfectly. Okay. All right. Okay. Excuse me, guys. All right, so now we're going to use this blue jean color because the sign has just a little bit of the same color in it, and I want to bring it out. I don't want this to be all maroon and tan. Okay, so that's why we're adding these last 2 colors, because there's a little bit of blue and there's a little bit of green in our sign. So we want to bring that out as much as possible. Okay, so measure out our tail, 7 inches. We're going to pinch it, twist it. You can bring this tail up or down, it doesn't matter, whichever way you want to. You'll just have to have one at the top and one at the bottom. Okay, so now we're going down to 4 inches. So let me move some stuff out of the way so we can see where 4 is. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it in there and then twist it afterwards because everything's starting to float up. It doesn't want to stay down anymore because the opening's too wide. All right, so we'll measure out 4. We'll give it that half twist. Measure out 4 on the other side. All right. This is the second loop, so we still have to give it that half twist. We do one more at 4 inches. All right, we don't have to twist. All right, so we'll measure out our tail. Dovetail. You see how everything wants to start coming up because the opening's too wide? All right. There we go. So we got one more left. We have the green. And then we'll be done. All right. Yeah, Terry, I want a wall of ribbon too. When I get my she shed, that's the first thing that's going to be built in that shed is a wall. A wall for all of my ribbon. And I'm not going to be happy until it's full. Okay, so this is a sheer green. Okay, it's not solid. It's sheer. So it's going to add just enough green to it, but not overpower it. Okay. So let's start. We have to start over here on this end. So let's measure out our tail. We're going to pinch it. We're going to give it that half twist. And it has a little bit of glitter in it. It's not a lot, but there is a little bit of glitter. Okay. So we'll measure out 4 inches again because we're trying to match the loop size of the blue jean. Okay. So we'll put it down in there and then we'll give it that half twist. We'll measure out 4 on the other side. Okay. Give it that half twist. And then our last loop, just place it straight down in there. We don't have to twist. All right. So let's get our tail over here. And that is our Lisa bow. All right. Oh, let me get a zip tie. I thought I had one out, but apparently I didn't. All right. So I have an 11-inch zip tie because I tried it with the 8 earlier and it didn't fit. So I already know I need an 11. Okay, so let's move our tails to the side. We're going to find the center right there where those pegs are. We're going to take our zip tie and we're going to make sure we lift up everything, all of our loops, all of our tails. Find the middle and the front. Let me do it. Yeah. All right. And just bring it around. Get it started. Okay. So now we can pull this off. All right. So let's bring our zip tie towards the middle where those grooves are. And then we're going to very carefully slide it around to the back to where our stacks don't completely fall over to one side. All right, we're going to tighten a little bit more so we make sure nothing starts moving on us. Not all the way yet, though. Let's get us a piece of wire. We need something to attach this to our wreath form. So, guys, if you want to use a pipe cleaner, there's nothing wrong with that. I tried it a couple of times, but if you happen to have to try to put this bow somewhere where there's not a hole, it'll be very, very difficult to get that pipe cleaner through your mesh. So that's why I stopped doing it. That happened to me one time. I was like, I can't put this pipe cleaner through my mesh. What am I going to do? All right, so let's cut us a piece of ribbon to put around our zip tie because we don't want anybody seeing our zip tie. So you can cut a 9 or 10-inch piece of the 1.5 inch and then just triple fold it to where it's just a thin little piece like this. Okay. This is all you need to cover up that zip tie. That zip tie is not wide. You don't need a big honking piece of 2.5 inch ribbon to go up the middle of your bow. All right. So now we're just going to take this and we're going to slide it over our zip tie. And then once we get everything into place and we lock, we tighten our zip tie up all the way, we can come back and tighten this knot a little bit more. But we just need it on right now. That way we can start moving stuff around and we don't have to worry about coming back and putting the zip tie on later. All right, so let's take all of our tails and move them to the middle, okay, on the top and the bottom. All right, so you should have two of the stripe. You should have two of the maroon and one blue and one green at the top and the bottom. Okay. Let's do the same thing down here. Oh, that's a loop. All right. Okay. All right. So now for our loops, they should pretty much be where they need to be already because we crisscrossed them as we were making the bow. Okay. So you should have the two stripes with the maroon in the middle, two stripes with the maroon in the middle, and then two blue jeans with the green in the middle. Okay. And then on the opposite side, you will have two of the maroon with the striped in the middle. And then again, two of the maroon with a striped in the middle. And then one blue jean in the middle, and then two green right there. All right. So now that we have everything where we need it to be, we can turn it over. We can tighten this zip tie all the way. Then we can come back and we can tighten this little piece of ribbon that we have. I'm going to double knot it just to be sure that it's not going to fall off. All right. So now we can go ahead and start fluffing everything. All right. So we got all of our tails in the top and the bottom in the middle. We got those out of the way. So let's just go ahead and start fluffing this thing out. So just stick your hands in the loops like we always do. And get everything nice and fluffy. Everybody likes a fluffy bow. All right. All right, that's one side. Okay, let's do the other side. So this bow is just a mirror image of itself on both sides. Okay. All right. So we got our loops fluffed out. Let's go ahead and take our tails and curl them so it looks like we have nothing but one continuous bow of loops when we do this. It looks like the whole bow is nothing but loops when you curl your tails like this. Okay, let's do the other side. Just flip it over. It doesn't take much to curl them because they're all wired. So you just, you know, just run them through your fingers just a little bit. It doesn't take much. The result is amazing. Just a little bit of effort and you have you a beautiful bow. There you go, guys. Doesn't it look like the whole thing is nothing but loops? Looks like nothing but loops. Oh, Francine. Guys, you can always go back if you missed the beginning and you know, watch it again. It'll be here forever. It's not going anywhere. So if you came on a little bit late, that's okay. So there we go. There is our second Lisa bow. All right. Let's cut off my handle, aka the zip tie, and we'll go ahead and put this one over here on our wreath. Okay, so we got one on the top right here. We're going to take this one, we're going to put it right here on the bottom. And I don't have a hole right here, so I'm going to have to push it down through my mesh. So I'm going to move my ruffles out of the way. I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to push it down through the maroon mesh. Burgundy, maroon. I don't know what color it is, but it's a pretty color. All right. So I just pushed it straight down through that mesh. I'm going to tie it onto the frame somewhere. Maybe. I'm looking for a crossbar down here. See if I can find one. Well, it's too far away. So we'll just use one of the regular bars. All right. All right, so we got our 2 bows. Isn't that pretty, guys? That looks good. I like it. Okay, so we got our 2 bows on here. So I think we're going to put a set of ribbon tails right here coming out the side of the sign, and then 1 set up here. Okay, so I have 2 sets already cut. So I'm going to go ahead and add those. We'll cut 2 more and we will be done. And Facebook lost out today. They lost out on the good tutorial. But I have to go in and let everybody know that follows me that we had to come over here on YouTube. They'll have to come watch it over here. Facebook didn't want to play nice again. I don't know, me and Facebook just haven't been getting along, guys. For whatever reason. We just haven't been getting along. All right, so we got 1 set right there. Let's put the other set at the bottom. And then we'll cut 2 more sets to come out the side of the sign. All right, let me get these last 2 sets of ribbon cut. So I cut these at 12 inches and I used my Perfect Tails. This was one of the best things I ever bought. It saves me so much time cutting ribbon. So when I first started doing this, I just had a piece of cardboard and I was using that. And it worked okay, but it wasn't a 12-inch piece of cardboard. It was only a 6-inch piece of cardboard, so I had to double up every time I would try to count. Half the time I would lose count. I wasn't cutting enough, or I was cutting too many. So when I saw these, I was like, oh yeah, gotta have some of those. All right, let me cut the 1.5 inch. All right, so tomorrow we're going to try to do the lantern swag on Facebook. But if Facebook starts acting silly like it did today, we are immediately coming back here. So one way or another, we're going to get that swag done. Whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. It's going to get done tomorrow. I've been dying to do this stupid thing. And yeah, my Roomba got hungry. All right, so let's spread these out. Let's do these opposite. I just want to have something coming out the side of this, sign, so it doesn't look so boring. And I'll pick up the camera and I'll show you guys what this looks like from the front. Let me get my other tie, the tiding back here. All right, we're done. We're done with today's project. And I'm pretty much done with Facebook. All right, let me pick up the camera. And I'll show you guys what this looks like from the front. I think it turned out really cute. I really do. All right, there we go. Look, guys, isn't that adorable? And that blue and that green just pops. It just pops. I love it. Carrie, really? I don't think it would take you 6 hours to make that bow. But guys, just practice. I mean, that's what I did. I mean, I wish I had some of the bows that I made when I first started doing this. Y'all would totally be laughing. Yeah, y'all would be like, oh my God, what is that? That is not a bow. But yeah, it just takes practice. That's all it takes. So you see how the ribbon's coming out the side right here? It brings a little something to it. It balances out these bows over here on the other side. So that's why I wanted to add these over here. That way we could have a little balance. But that blue and that green just right here with the little present and the little shoelace and this right here, that you don't need very much. And that's all it really took. So yeah, that's today's project and we are done. And thank you guys for following me over here, because hopefully YouTube will cooperate tomorrow. I mean, Facebook will cooperate tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to do the lantern, and it'll probably be around the same time, probably around 3-ish. So we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for following me over here. And I guess that's it for today. And I got to go to work tonight. So I got to get everything ready for work. I'm going to leave in, what time is it? 45 minutes. I got to leave to go to work. So I got to get my lunch ready and everything for work. So thank you guys again for coming. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next live. Bye, everybody.